We are live. We are live, coming at you right in here in the heart of Vegas. AAPEX and SEMA is with us. It is absolutely a fantastic week thus far. I know we're still early in the week. Here just Tuesday.
Early for some. I've been here since Saturday.
AWDA guys, they come early, they leave early. They're kind of like the uncle at the buffet or uncle at the Christmas party. They just come early and leave.
Well, we come with a plan. We execute, and then once the plate is full, the only polite thing to do is Irish exit.
Irish exit. And they take the goodies. They take all the goodies.
Can't leave without the goodie basket.
I'm telling you, the AWDA guys. But I'll tell you what here, a really exciting time for the 2W podcast. Richard Christian Brown, for the listeners and followers that don't know, Richard is an industry expert. Been in the industry
2008.
Oh man, he's a goodie but an oldie, oldie but a goodie. And believe it or not, my first job in the industry was working for Richard Brown.
Gideon kept me in line.
Yes, I don't know about that. I always just had a dumb imagination, man.
And that's the thing. Gideon's got an imagination. People say ideas come free, but Gideon's ideas were always things that came with vision, gave you forward-looking direction. Don't let Gideon sell in the relationship, right? I carried Gideon's bag.
I no, still to this day. It was under, we had a great team. We worked in the tech office together, and everything was e-commerce focused. And still to this day, I have a love for this industry like no other. I don't know why, but I would say my early years in it was with Richard Brown. And honestly, Richard, I know I've never told you this publicly. Maybe I have, but those were some of the best years. They really were. They were awesome years. It was a challenge. It was always a challenge, but it was always with an objective. Right. And I think when you look back at that, I know we're here for industry relationships, but man, to have you on the 2W podcast, which was created this year purely to bring the next level industry talent, just bring it forward in a digital format where people can absorb it, people can see it, people can hear it. It's really awesome to see it evolve, and it's awesome to have you on.
Thanks, Gideon. Appreciate that. And one of the things that I want to touch on is you just said team. Everything we did was a collaborative effort, and we're both contributors to that. So our career advancement, the things that our organization, my current organization, your former organization have benefited from, all of those things have been achieved through stout teamwork.
I agree.
One of the things that I want to talk about, which I think goes part and parcel with teamwork within this industry, it's a great industry. We're here in Las Vegas for our industry week. What this industry represents matters to everyone. Doesn't matter if you are an activist or if you happen to be an enthusiast. Mobility matters to everyone. And this allows me to talk about right to repair. It's important for everyone listening to this podcast to understand what right to repair means. And some people, they're hearing it for the first time. Some people, they've heard it over and over and over again. I implore everyone to take action on it. It means having options. Not only options for you to take, options for you to select where you want to take your vehicle to, options for you to choose how to have a repair done to your vehicle. And it's important for everyone. I mean, maybe you live in an area where there are service centers that are close by, dealerships further away. You should have the option to take your vehicle to a service center. If you want to repair it in the back of your house, if you want to repair it in your garage, right to repair affords you those options. It secures that not only for the current generation, for generations to come. This is a great industry. Mobility matters. And if you're hearing about right to repair for the first time or the 50th time, I implore you, take action today. Make sure you go online, you research right to repair. Find your local legislators. Get involved in ways that you can communicate with them. Go online, find the right to repair website, donate, or maybe just write a letter. Our right to repair folks are connected with your local legislators, and they're pushing the agenda every day to secure this for our industry.
I think that's a really good point, and I'm glad you brought that up, because right to repair, it's important for the consumers. It's important for making sure that the repairs happening at a financial cost that has some competitiveness, right? And you have the opportunity to make a decision accordingly. I've been hearing obviously about right to repair for a while now, and some, like you said, some it's the first time, some it's the 100th time. But I'm actually will the right to repair? Do we have an end objective, end date that or is this an ongoing?
Well, we in the industry continue to stay engaged with our federal legislators. We hope to have the HR bill that's currently circulating in the House put on the House floor for a vote this year. It didn't happen. The next big push is to get it on the House House floor for a vote next year. The reality for right to repair, it's not just about cost. Right? It goes beyond that. It gives you options for longevity of your vehicle. If a dealer, if an OE make chooses to age out a vehicle at 10 years, right, they just decide at 10 years, there's no point in continuing to maintain or develop the parts to service that vehicle. That's their choice. And you no longer have options. The aftermarket affords you that option, gives you the option to keep the vehicle beyond 10 years into 25 years, 35 years, 45 years. And believe me, in our mobility segments, there are vehicles that are operating into the 45-year.
I think the longevity of vehicle I think it's going to get better. I know the technology is in play, but I think the quality of builds continue to increase. I think when you look at internal combustion engine, but also I think the hybrid model, obviously we have the electrification of vehicles. There's a lot of talk around, but I don't foresee it overtaking market share at any great length. I think the hybrid internal combustion engine has another 20 years of shelf life on it from a new vehicle perspective. We'll see what happens. But I think it's really important. I think the right to repair, it needs to continue to move. But that's a good point, because I think a lot of questions happen. Well, we keep hearing it year over year. What happened, right? A lot of people don't know. Well, are we just going to keep on talking? You want me to just write a letter to my legislator every single week? When will it end? So basically every single year it gets placed on for a vote, right? And until we get that pushed through, we're going to continue to hear about right to repair.
HR 906, get it on the floor, get a vote. We
Okay.
want it now.
And the more voices that we have behind it, the more that we can basically push for it, the more that we can create a consolidated effort. I think we were talking about a team earlier. I think the greatest things, not one person has ever built anything great. I believe that. I believe great teams build great things. And I think when you look at an industry that is this focused and this collectively kind of moving something together as a team, I think the more that people will get behind it, the more success we're going to have. And it's an exciting time ahead. I think, Richard, one thing that we were talking about actually before we just started this was a lot about consolidation. I know you mentioned kind of money on the sidelines. You talked a lot about, that piece. I'd love for you to expand a little bit on it, because I think that's something that maybe listeners potentially are unclear of, or what does that mean?
Yeah, this one is not the easiest for me to explain. I'm in the automotive industry. I don't come to this industry with a broad financial background. But what I have been seeing over the course of my time in the state of Florida, I can't tell you how many independents used to operate in the state of Florida, that those names no longer exist. Tropical, Sun Auto, FAD, Parts House, of course, Auto Parts Machines. They've all consolidated under common ownership. Yes. And there's still a fair amount of consolidation happening in this industry today. I believe with firm passion that there are distributors, independents out there that are operating today that would love to hand off their organizations to an operator that has an interest in continuing to run it as an independent. But that notwithstanding, they at some point in their lives of ownership of their organizations, if those people don't present themselves within their organizations, within their families, they want to be able to step away and go enjoy the fruit of their labor over time. And I think this is what has driven a fair amount of consolidation that we're seeing.
Yeah, okay, I agree with you there. Of course, right? Because you look at it, I mean, we used to work together. Parts House was an example, right? They were an independent, and they had a great presence in the Southeast, and obviously there was an acquisition there through consolidation. My kind of question though is that good for our industry? Or is consolidated, do we want five, kind of like the big five, right? Or the big three, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm going to qualify my answer with, it's not necessarily good or bad.
Yeah.
It's what's happening. It's the reality. And
for sure,
as this consolidation continues to happen within our industry, it creates some opportunity. The degree of opportunity, it's not always known at the forefront, but it does create some opportunities for distributors that may not have had the opportunity to have deepened inventory investments to service the entirety of their communities to have these inventory investments and service a broader sector within the space that they operate. It also gives opportunities for additional store development footprint. It creates jobs. So it's neither good nor bad. It's just what's happening.
Yeah. Well, and that kind of because I've always been intrigued by that. I think we're seeing it across the board, consolidation happen, right? And the ownership of a smaller distribution point, obviously they're looking for an exit strategy. There's always a sale price on everything. But what I find interesting is, how do you think that will evolve where we move our e-commerce operations? E-commerce is a big part of what we do. The digital piece in our business, I've seen it exponentially get bigger every single year since I've been in the industry. I think it's only going to continue to grow. How do you kind of see the parts commerce and what that opportunity looks like, and how we reshape the industry for the next 20 years with technology we know is coming left and right?
Great question. As I said, consolidation gives opportunities for more resources to be deployed. And with those resources, you've seen a lot of organizations shaping up their e-commerce support. They want to participate in taking a product that they have in their local inventory and making that product available for other vendor communities, other distributors that may have a brick and mortar customer 200 miles away in their local area that needs a part. They can't get it. But through a program like Revolution Parts, they can tap into another distributor's inventory and acquire that product and service their customer in a way that demonstrates service reliability and product availability. That's just one aspect of e-commerce.
Right.
Other aspects of e-commerce engagement include the growth of the DIFM sector.
100%.
Where we're drop shipping parts to a local installer or a service center. And that service center is a service center that we as a distributor have a relationship with. Customer is able to go directly through that service center to find our products, order products, bring their vehicle in, and the parts available for their vehicle will be serviced on the spot. So,
Richard, we go way back. And we always were debating, which I always actually love. Actually, I miss our old conversations, man. They were always very intriguing to me. And I enjoyed
have slept since.
Not me.
No, I miss the Gideon. I miss them. What do you think I'm here?
I just love talking about it. And we would talk about so many great things. And, we would always get in here and whiteboard kind of what we thought the future was, and we would debate it. It was awesome, a healthy debate. We would debate it. We would work through it. And I just believe that the industry is kind of moving in such in a way that, distribution is the pillar behind everything we do, right? Because they meet every type of customer. They not only meet the small repair shop that does $500,000 a year, but they meet the dealership, the jobber network. And then you also look at the e-commerce developments. I think we're already seeing a shift in how manufacturers are looking at commerce solutions, right? Not the old, we're only going to sell into distribution and we don't care. That's it. No, they're taking a more keen interest in, how do I move the needle for you, right? How do I move more of my product through your distribution point, put more profit and we can remove margin erosion, put more dollars in your pocket. We're seeing that not only with manufacturers, but part sellers in general. I think you're going to continue to see a path that removes that friction from manufacturer to distribution, and then also the part seller. I love the industry, and I only want to see it move forward in the best way possible, the most effective, whether it benefits me or not. I really don't care about that. But I believe that the goodwill and the good work that we do every day, whether people see it or not, I believe that the outcome will be a better industry when I retire, when you retire. And that to me is probably the most exciting part of I think what we do professionally, personally.
Well, I wholeheartedly agree. And it's incumbent upon us to make sure that we hand over a better industry for the generation of tomorrow, not only from the servicing sector, but also the product availability sector. So, Gideon.
We have to.
Yeah,
it's our duty, man.
It is.
It's our 100%. Duty. Well, I'll tell you what, Richard, I thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for having me. As I said, man, although I've slept since, I do have missed this. This is why I'm here.
I love it.
I'm energized. My takeaway from this is I probably need another year before I have this kind of conversation with Gideon again.
We're going to do it, though.
But we're probably going to meet up in a couple of days.
We're going to do it. No, I thank you for stopping by. I'm honored, actually, that you're here and that we got a chance to come on. We created the 2W podcast about a year ago with the objective of improving the industry and bringing on leaderships and leadership voices. I love understanding why people kind of think of a certain way or why they believe that's the future, because they have a reason, and that's why we're here. And so, Richard, it's an honor. You're one of the great, not only friends and colleagues and mentors to myself, but we're going to do this again.
I agree. Likewise, I've learned as much from you, Gideon. Thanks for having me.
You got it. RCB, the Parts House XL Parts. He's absolutely a visionary. If you're not sure, email him every day. If he doesn't respond, he will respond. I promise you that. Or just bang down his LinkedIn profile. He's awesome. He has so much knowledge and so much information to provide our industry. As always, it is an honor to be here. This is 2W Podcast. We are the voice of the industry.